Welcome back, everybody. Another episode on the Farm Fit channel. This one talking about provincials for Ontario that's coming up next month, about a month and a bit from now, July 19th, from the Bobby Orr Community Center in Parry Sound. I was going to, and I know I said I was going to do a couple of recap videos on sort of my journey from when I started getting into this whole thing until now, as modest and as unimpressive as it is. But I've decided to change that for this week because they released the weights for provincials this year. We knew what the events were going to be. We knew that a little bit ago, but they finally released the weights for it. And I'm going to put them up on screen for everybody to see. But I'm also going to talk more specifically about my weight group because that's what I'm competing in. I'm not competing in the women. I'm not competing in the open. I'm not competing novice. So I'm going to talk about the under 120 kilogram strongman weights for provincials for this year because those are the ones that pertain to me. But I do want to have the other weights up there so you can kind of see them as a reference point. Couple of things I'm not going to do on this channel is I'm not going to be negative for the sake of being negative, and I'm not going to bash anybody for the sake of bashing them. What I will do is be honest with you about my opinion, and it's just my opinion. It's my opinion as a fan, and it's my opinion as a competitor. It doesn't reflect, the people that I hang out with. It doesn't reflect that of the company I keep. This is just my opinion, and it's not meant to hurt anybody's feelings. It's not meant to start a fight. It's not meant to be the end all be all. It's just my opinion. And if you disagree with it, that's cool. I understand. I get that. I don't even agree with everything I say at times because I change my mind. And I might change my mind on the opinion on some of these events as I get going further into my training, either up to, during, or after the show itself. But this is just how it stands right now. And I want to be honest with everybody about that because I don't think being positive to just kind of be positive and stay the course and be a good soldier is good and healthy. I think it's good to create discussion around these sorts of things, especially because it's an amateur show. This isn't a pro show. We're amateurs. We're all trying to figure this out. We're all paying to be in these competitions. We're not being paid to be there. We pay to enter this. We pay to compete. We pay gym memberships. We pay entry fees. We pay for shirts. We pay the price to do this. So I think it's important to create discussion around events and around how events have been run, how events are going to be run, and just create a discussion around the good, bad, and the ugly. So with that said, let's go through the events one by one, starting with the Yoke deadlift. And I'm going to start here because it's probably the event I'm least excited about. My personal opinion on it is that the Yoke deadlift is difficult for the sake of being difficult, and that it doesn't add really anything to the show. Because as a strongman fan, I like to see events that are impressive to look at, as well as, hard to do as a competitor. Last year at Provincials, we had a car deadlift. And although it wasn't overly difficult for some and difficult for others, it looks impressive. Visually, from a fan standpoint, it's like, wow, they're deadlifting a car. Lots of people could learn how to do it. Lots of people could do it. But it's about the image of it. I don't think a yoke deadlift is particularly exciting to look at unless you're a competitor, because the average fan looking at it is just going to kind of see you lifting this really weird looking implement that they don't really know much about, because yokes are meant to be carried, thrown, things dropped over the crossbar or, built into racks so that you can throw bags over them. That being said, it's very much a stability exercise. It's very much, focusing on keeping the unit stable while you're trying to do the lift itself. Now, it's as many reps as possible in 60 seconds. And again, this is where I have a bit of an issue as a competitor, is from a safety standpoint. I've trained this event a little bit, especially trying to get used to it before provincials, but I've not trained it for reps. I've done some reps warming up, and you really have to be bang on with how you set this thing down. Because if you set the yoke down on the backside, it's going to want to pull you forward. And if you set it down too far forward, it's going to kick back and drive the crossbar right into your shins. We're going to be pulling from about 14 inches because that's where the crossbar will be sent. Figure 8 straps are allowed. Figure 6 straps are allowed. And honestly, if you can get figure 6s around them and you've got big enough hands for it, all the power to you. I've got tiny little hands, that aren't conducive to that. So I have to use figure 8s. And even then, I'm very much holding it like this. I'm not, able to really get a good firm grasp on the whole thing. I rely a lot on the straps for it. So when I saw Yoke deadlift initially, I was excited because I enjoy deadlifting. I come from a powerlifting background. I enjoy a lot of static events, and I really do enjoy deadlifting. Last year, I was, I believe, third on the card deadlift, which was really good. It did really good points for me, and I was super excited to do that here. I was kind of excited if it was going to be max because I thought I could separate myself from some other people in the group, but it's 575 pounds for reps. And I'd be lying if I said I was super confident in my ability to pull that for one, never mind multiple, because that's a lot. That's a lot. And I don't doubt there are people in my group that can do it. I also know there are people in my group that probably can't do it. I may be one of them, depending on how the next 5 weeks of my training goes. But I'm not super confident in it, and I was super disappointed because my excitement for it started here, and then it kind of dropped. The more I worked with it, the more I did it, and then seeing the weight. So I got to admit, not super excited about it. I don't know the last time I saw a yoke deadlift at a pro level or many other amateur levels. I know they've been done before. The yoke press is one that's been done more recently. I know they did it at OSG, I believe, last year. So that's a common-ish one, but not the deadlift. And to me, for some of these shows anyways, and for some of the people in these shows, not necessarily myself because I'm not at that level yet, a lot of people are using it as an avenue to become a pro because that's the trajectory we go on. And I would like to see some consistency between what happens up here at the pro level and then sort of trickle down. This is a rant for a different video, but I'm a big believer in like basics and then the weird stuff. I said that when I played baseball too. I think that a lot of guys in baseball need to learn how to throw a fastball changeup combination before they start working on a slider. But again, that's a different video that I might get into later. So axle deadlift, not super excited to do, but going to do it anyways, or at least try. Second event, axle clean and press, 280 pounds. It's going to be a heck of a press. We had 255 at Battle of the Brink that I got for 2 reps. The press itself felt really good. Again, as I mentioned in my other video, the clean isn't terrific. So I really need to work on that. I've been working on just attacking the bar, getting on top of it, and not allowing myself to think. Because what happens if I give myself too much time to think, then I psych myself out and I take too much time and I'm not as good with it. And that was evident in the Brink video as well, because I was very slow on the clean before I got it into the press position. Whereas if I had just attacked it, I probably could have got out another rep. But again, if ifs and buts were candy nuts, we'd all have a Merry freaking Christmas. So we're just going to file that away. So 280 axle clean and press. The 280 press itself, I should be able to get. I've pressed close to that before and I wasn't peaking for it. So with a proper peak, we'll see. So that's kind of a toss up for me. I'm excited to become more confident with it and excited to see what's there on the day of. Sandbag toss. This was another one I was on the fence about when it was first announced because I really want to get better at tossing sandbags. It's one that I am probably losing a lot on my technique. It's not great. My release point is off. I'm not extending my arms all the way and letting the bag carry it through. There's a lot of pieces there that need to come together for it to work. So when they announced sandbag toss, I thought, okay, will it be a run Will it be for max height? Will it be for reps? Will it be any number of things that you could do with a sandbag toss? Well, again, this is one that they kind of took it and then just changed it for the sake of changing it, it seems like, because it's a single arm sandbag toss. And for us, it's 45 pounds, which is going to be a good toss for reps. I know there's some guys in our group that are terrific tossers. There are some guys that are super tall that could almost dunk it. It's 15 feet, by the way, for our height, not 14. So it's an extra foot, which at that point, like, it doesn't really matter. Like, the extra foot, it's either going to go or it's not at that point. So I don't really care about the height much. I care more about the awkwardness of the single arm and whether or not I'm going to be able to get that. Because again, this is just my opinion for what it's worth. I don't think single arm sandbag tosses are particularly exciting because they're either super light and you just chuck it over and you're on to the next, or they're heavy like this, and heavy is relative to me. I understand someone's going to watch this video and go, "Oh, Phil, you suck. I can single arm toss a 200-pound bag. Good for you, man. Amazing. Congratulations." I'm talking about me. Make your own video and tell me how amazing you are and how the sunshine and rainbows fall out of your ass. We'll discuss that later. I'm just going off of my experience. And I think there are single arm tosses that can be exciting, especially as you get into record breakers with kettlebells and stuff. But again, I would rather just see 2-arm sandbag toss for either a max height or some sort of run. But again, I didn't make the rules. I didn't make the events. I got to go with what's in front of me. It's a single arm sandbag toss for 45 pounds. This is another one that I don't know how it's going to go. I really don't. I'm practicing. I just did sandbags tonight. That's one that I will know over the next few weeks as I alter my technique and work on it, how we're getting along. So that brings me to the last two events. First up is a sandbag carry into a sled drag. This one's going to be all about speed. I don't see a lot of people failing this event. This one's going to be all about how fast you are. They haven't said how fast the sled is, and I get that because it's hard. They can't announce it at 650 pounds, and then some of us are training on concrete, some of us are training on AstroTurf, others are training on smooth cement floors. This is going to be inside at an arena, so the floor is going to be quite smooth, I assume. So it's hard to gauge that. So they basically said train heavy. Completely fair. I will train a heavy sled as much as possible outside on concrete because that's what I did for nationals. Because nationals, we had an arm over arm into a drag. So that's what I was doing. I would arm over arm the sled and then I would drag it. This is the sandbag carry, presumably down the run, and then the drag backwards. It's a 275 pound sandbag, which I've run with before. I've used before. I've used them in other events. Again, that's a confidence thing. I need to just attack the bag, pick it up, and go. I can't allow myself to be worried about my bicep or any other part of my body, mostly my bicep, and psych myself out about it. I just have to grab it and go. So that one I think is going to be about speed. I don't see a lot of people zeroing that event. I think that's going to be whoever's the fastest. And you're going to get to watch the T-Rex turtle run down the run. So that'll be exciting for everybody. Farmer's carry for max distance is the last event. This is another one that I'm kind of on the fence about. I've not done a max distance farmers before. For me, it's always been either farmers for 40 feet or it's been farmers and something else. 285 pounds per hand. That's going to be a good farmer pull. Sure is. I've worked up to 265 in training before. I don't think it was for 40 feet. I'm pretty sure it was for 20 feet. So we'll see. My grip that way should be okay. Just got to work with it. Got to practice with the farmers. That's going to be a lot. Again, that's another, not a confidence one because I'm confident in my ability to stand up with it, but it's a technique one that my coach and I have been working on. I used to hold the handles more towards the back and let the handles carry forward so that the weight was pulling me forward. I'm trying a new technique now where my hand is more to the front and the weight is back, but it's the whip that's trying to get me through as I'm walking. So will it work? I don't know. Again, trying something new. I'm always up for trying something new. I'll try anything once. So those are the events. The farmers carry for max distance. That's what I was going to say before I get sidetracked again. We basically have to go down the run, set it down, turn around, pick it up, and come back. We don't have to turn with it, which is great news because turning with those handles is, geez, it's like trying to turn an 18-wheeler in a Costco parking lot that's full on a Saturday weekend. You ain't going to do it. So you run it down, set it down, turn around, pick it up, and go. I was excited about the farmer's carry. Then I saw it was for max distance. I'm not as excited, but I'm a little bit more. I was less excited about it, but I'm starting to gain my confidence in it and understanding it because this one will be endurance and not just speed. Because I do lose a lot of points on speed events because I'm not exactly the fastest guy out there, believe it or not. Regardless, see, the head allows me to be aerodynamic, but the mustache holds me back. So it's kind of, and then the shoulders and stuff. And I'm just, I'm built like a Tyrannosaurus Rex Triceratops. It's a weird amalgamation of things. So max distance will just be an endurance thing. We still have I believe a 60-second time limit. So that'll be one that, again, I don't see a lot of people zeroing, touch wood. I don't zero it, but try to get some good points on it. So that's provincials this year. Yoke deadlift, 575 for us. Axle clean and press, 280 pounds. Single arm sandbag toss, 45 pounds. Sandbag carry into sled drag, 275. And farmer's carry for max distance at 285. Again, I have a lot of mixed feelings about this. And this ties into my mixed feelings and my emotions coming out of Battle at the Brink 3. So I understand I have a lot going on right now. I understand that I might just be a little bit sour going into it because of how things have unfolded recently. And I'm trying to be more positive about it. Again, this isn't a knock on the organizers. This isn't a knock on Strongman Corp Canada or anybody that puts these shows together. I have nothing but the utmost respect for people that run shows, put shows together, have to choose events, and have to deal with bald assholes like me going, well, is that an event? I don't like it, because I'm going to do the event anyways. It doesn't matter if it was a yoke deadlift for max reps while wearing a tutu standing on a bed of hot coals. I paid to do this. I'm going to do it. That's just what it is. No amount of bitching, crying, or eating a bowl of ice cream is going to make it better or change it. This is what we were told to do. This is what we're going to go do. This is what we signed up for. This is what we paid for. That's what I'm going to do. But I still have an opinion on it, and I still want to share my opinion with everybody to at least create that discussion around it. And if you agree with me, you agree with me. And if you don't, you don't. And if you think I'm just being an ungrateful asshole over this whole thing, I might disagree with what you say, but I'll defend to the death your right to say it. So that's provincials. I don't know how I'm going to do. I don't know how other people in my group are going to do. Personally, I don't care how other people in my group are going to do because I can't control them. All I can do is control my training and control my process and everything going into it to give myself the best opportunity at it and hopefully qualify for nationals in Calgary this year. But I won't know any of that until after July 19th. So until then, everybody have a great night. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Can't believe I'm saying that, but here we are. This is the kind of person I have turned into. What are the other keywords? Like, share, subscribe. Follow me on social media, Instagram at Phil DeLand. Very, very original, I know. But I don't think the Lorax is in public domain, and I don't want Dr. Seuss's family to sue me because that just wouldn't be great for anybody involved. But other than that, stay strong and be healthy. Thanks, everybody.